Hello and welcome to Picture This Thought. On this Remembrance Day, the picture I've chosen is this one of some ceramic poppies to call to mind all those who have given their lives to serve their country. Like many people across the country today, I have been joining in with a remembrance service to honour all those who have given their lives for the freedom and liberties that we so often take for granted. The act of remembrance in itself is really important. It's important to rehearse our history, to rehearse the story of where we've come from and how we've got to where we are. And this is a really important concept in the Bible. Many of the Psalms talk about remembering the deeds of the Lord. In Psalm 77, the writer says, "I will meditate on all your works and consider your mighty deeds." For the people of God, it is really important to remember where they've come from and how God's been faithful to his promises throughout their history. And that's just the same for us today. Christians around the world today are part of God's story. We have a history that we fit into, and we have a future hope as well. Just before Jesus went to the cross, he was celebrating the Passover meal with his disciples. The Passover was a really important festival for Jewish people because it was a way to remember their deliverance from slavery and oppression in Egypt. It was during this time of celebration and remembrance of the Lord's great deeds that Jesus instituted another symbol for us to be able to remember the significance of his life, death and resurrection. This is what we celebrate today in the communion or the Lord's Supper. He took the bread and reminded us that his body was broken for us, and he took the blood to remind us that his blood was shed for us. He made this sacrifice of his own life so that we could be brought into a new freedom from oppression. So this is why it's important as Christians to rehearse the gospel story, to remember what Jesus has done. That's what gives us confidence and hope. So today, when we're remembering many people who gave their lives so that we could be free, let's remember the ultimate sacrifice of life to bring freedom. And let's remember the ultimate triumph of good over evil. That's what, as Christians, we set our hope in, and that hope is available to everybody. So that's today's Picture This Thought. Let me pray. Lord, thank you that we can recall all the times that you've been working throughout the history of your people. Lord, thank you that each week we can rehearse the good news of the gospel, which is that you died for us, you were raised again, and that anyone who puts their hope and trust in you doesn't need to fear evil. Lord, thank you for all those men and women who have given their lives in conflicts. Lord, may that cause us to think of the ultimate triumph of good over evil, where you gave yourself as a sacrifice so that all who believe and trust in you can have true freedom. In your name, amen. Well, that's today's Picture This Thought. Join me again for more.